just dirty, really dirty. Here's another one that was another dirty one to me. Let's go to Genesis chapter 29 and verse 15 through 30. So follow along with me if you must, or if you would like to, because these stories are throwing me. Crazy sexual acts. So in Genesis chapter 29, 15 all the way through 30, here we are. Laban then said, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, he said to Jacob, just because you are my relative, should you serve me for nothing? Tell me, what are your wages to be? Now Laban had two daughters. The name of the older was Leah, and the name of the younger, Rachel. Now, but the eyes of Leah had no luster, whereas Rachel had become a very attractive and beautiful woman. Jacob had fallen in love with Rachel, so he said, I am willing to serve you 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel. To this, Laban said, it is better for me to give her to you than give her to another man. Keep dwelling with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, but in his eyes, they were just a few days because of his love for her. Wow, that's strong love. Then Jacob said to Laban, give over my wife because my days are up. He served his 7 years. And let me have relations with her. Rachel, of course, he's requesting. With that, Laban gathered all the men of the place and made a feast. But during the evening, he resorted to taking his daughter Leah and bringing her to him, to Jacob, that he might have relations with her. Laban also gave his female servant Zilpah to his daughter Leah as a servant. That got to do with it. In the morning, Jacob saw that it was Leah. So he said to Laban, what have you done to me? Was it not for Rachel that I served you? Why have you tricked me? To this, Laban said, it is not our custom here to give the younger woman before the firstborn. Celebrate the week of this woman. After that, you will also be given this other woman in exchange for serving me 7 more years. Jacob did so and celebrated the week of this woman after he gave him his daughter Rachel as a wife. Because Laban gave his female servant Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as her servant, again, what they got to do with anything? Then Jacob had relations also with Rachel, and he loved Rachel more than Leah. And he served him for another 7 years. Okay, first off, I'm about to use a saying of my close friend. Sorry, Joe, I'm stealing one of your little sayings here. Man, I ought to beat the brakes off Laban, whatever his name is. His name would have just been Bond. I'd have been done with him. Because you mean to tell me this man waited 7 years for this woman, Rachel, and Laban didn't have he didn't tell them in the beginning, oh, that's not custom, bro. Like, I got to give you my oldest first, even though you want Rachel, because that's our custom. Why couldn't you tell this to this man before you let him work for you or do whatever for you, serve you 7 years? 7 years. It's like, that's dirty. That is dirty. That's a slap in the face. Relative or not, I'd have beat him down like a stranger. There's no way my man didn't have more to say. It had to have been way more dialogue than just that between these two dudes. It's like, how could you do him like that? Then he served another 7 years. You mean to tell me they didn't have an argument? Like, what's wrong with you? Why'd you do me like that? Custom or not, like, you just let that man do that? That's not right. It's not right. It's not cool. It's not right. As I said, my man would have got the brakes beat off of him, like, seriously. Like, you shouldn't do nobody like that, especially your relative. You did that man like that. Yeah, I got a problem with that. So moving forward. Um, did you know one of these sexual acts, there may be more, I haven't read them all, and I'm only reading some of these sexual occurrences, not all of them, but even God got involved because of a sexual occurrence, didn't result in a pregnancy? Really, God? Really? That's what you're doing? Like, wow. Let's read that one now. Okay. So, Genesis chapter 38, 6 through 11. And we're going to read from the New World Translations of the Holy Scriptures. Here we go. 38, 6 through 11. In time, Judah took a wife for his firstborn son, and her name was Tamar, or Tamar. But Judah's firstborn, was displeasing to Jehovah. So Jehovah put him to death. Wow. In view of that, Judah said to Onan, have relations with your brother's wife and perform brother-in-law marriage with her. Wow. And raise up offspring for your brother. But Onan knew that the offspring would not be considered his. So when he did have relations with his brother's wife, he wasted his semen on the ground so as not to give offspring to his brother. What he did was bad in the eyes of Jehovah. So he also put him to death. Wow, that's serious. Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, dwell as a widow in the house of your father until my son Shelah grows up. For he said to himself, he too may die like his brothers. So Tamar went and stayed in her own father's house. Okay, I got an issue with that. But before I continue with that issue, let me read the King James version again. This is the same chapter 38, 6 through 11. Here we go. Unbelievable. So, and Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, there I go again. Why I keep saying that? Go in unto thy brother's wife and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Wherefore he slew him also. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah, my son, be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. Okay. All right. Here's my issue with that. Really, God, you killed this man because he didn't impregnate his brother's wife because he felt a certain way? Why would God play a personal part in his role? And the brother, like when his brother was killed by God, did he not know God killed him? Like, again, this is the Bible not telling us what all occurred in between. Like, how did he kill him? And again, did the father and son, well, the father knew God killed him. So how did the brother not know? And he still, I ain't impregnating this one. I ain't doing it. He didn't do it. He popped off on the ground, didn't get it in her, and he got killed too. It's like, what? Again, as a father, it's like, hey, son, God's serious about this. You make sure you carry this out. He killed your brother. Did that dialogue not occur? And if it did, the brother was like, I don't care. I'm not impregnating my brother's wife. But he still went through with it, didn't he? He did. I don't understand that either. If he didn't want to impregnate her, why did he even have sex with her? Why did he carry it out? Like, you see what I'm saying? People just was getting it in just to get it in. It's like, I don't know. What happened with that? Like, strange. So let's go to the continuation. We're going to go back to Genesis chapter 38, now to 12 through 19. Okay, so some time passed, and Judah's wife, the daughter of Shua, died. Judah kept the mourning period, and then he went to his his sheep hearers, goodness, and Timnah, and his companion Hirah and Adolamite, if that's pronounced correctly. Tamar was told, "Here, your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear his sheep." With that, she removed her widow's clothing and veiled herself and covered herself with a shawl and sat down at the entrance of Enaim, which is on the road to Timnah, for she saw that Shelah had grown up, and yet she had not been given to him as a wife. When Judah caught sight of her, he at once took her for a prostitute. Wow. Because she had covered her face. So he turned aside to her by the road and said, allow me please to have relations with you. Wow. For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. However, she said, what will you give me that you may have relations with me? To this he said, I will send a young goat from my herd. But she said, will you give a security until you send it? He continued, what security should I give you? To which she said, your seal ring and your cord and your rod that is in your hand. 30. Then he gave them to her and had relations with her, and she became pregnant by him. After that, she got up and went away and removed her shawl and clothed herself with her widow's clothing. All right, so again, as I say, dirty acts, dirty sexual acts. Okay, Miss Daughter-in-law. He didn't know who you were, but you knew who he was. You was that horny, or you wanted to be impregnant that bad because he hadn't given his son to you yet, that you're going to do this act. And then she was kind of conniving with it, like she protected herself because she asked for those items to protect herself in the future. And again, you'd have to read along to see what I'm talking about, read further. But I'm like, wow, really? This what you did? Like, so again, just dirt. And he did find out later that was his daughter-in-law he impregnated, and all the Bible said was he stopped having relations with her. Okay, I got a few issues with that. I just mentioned some of them, or one at least. What about this issue? He was in God's favor. So why didn't he just ask God to give him another woman? How did God feel about him pretty much buying a prostitute? I thought God didn't like the use of prostitutes. At least that's what the Bible kind of conveys, that he don't like that type of behavior and things like that. Yet this occurred, and no lightning bolts, no smacks, no punishments whatsoever. Like, what's up with that? Again, too many unfinished stories, too many things left out. I don't get it. Where is those details? Moving on. 6. All right. Let's touch. There's a lot of, again, sexual acts in these Bibles, even rapes, but I'm not going to cover all of them. It's a few of them. I'll be talking all day on this video.